This is Crunchywood Wet, the only show that does not care whether or not you're covered in milk or just slightly soggy because you're aroused. That's right, this is Crunchywood Wet, the only show that only does things once in a while, but when I do them twice, just like that intro. I do apologize for those of you that actually do come out and you guys actually download and listen, stuff like that, because I like to really do these things. If you do hear a humming in the background, I do apologize. I am doing some rendering right now, some videos. If you haven't followed me, I am Croak the DJ on YouTube. It's kind of pointless stuff. It's more of just keeping my mind busy. Some people crochet, some people garden, some people drink beer. I mess around on my computer on a giant 37-inch 4K monitor. Thank you, Steve. They were updating. It has a couple of pixels out, but it doesn't do any. It doesn't bother me. I don't mind it so much that I can't use it, but I appreciate it nonetheless. There's a lot of stuff going on in the news. I don't necessarily like covering too much news stuff, but I will cover this because I find it very amusing. There seems to be, for a while it was a big news thing with the whole Ashley Madison thing, or Ashley Madison, whatever it is. Now, a couple people have brought it up, and I bring it up too. Now, if you are a big time app user, or the singles guy, or the singles lady, or whatever, singles ladies have no problem. You just go to the bar, you can find anybody. You go to the store, if you have a shirt that said, "I'm single," people will come up and talk to you. If you have a shirt that says, "I'm married," people will come up and talk to you. If you're buying, like, food for one and a bottle of wine, chances are somebody's gonna come talk to you. It's just how it is. But with the whole Ashley thing, it doesn't make sense that people would go on there. They would pay for the secrecy or whatever. What happened to the old day when people would either they'd have their pager and have special codes. It was like pound. I think mine for the longest time was 80085. Yes, I was that immature, but it was that long ago that my code was boobs. I'm not going to say yes or no to being cool about it, but that was my code. Everybody knew it was me. They would know to call me because we all memorized the 4 numbers that we had to call. Now, if you ask me, I remember 3 numbers from back in the day. Actually, I remember my old home phone only because my parents still use it. I remember my friend Tim's phone number, just because it kind of rolled off the tongue. There's a couple other ones I use still. There's one I don't remember where the number. I can't remember the name. I thought it was, but then I also remember Pizza Hut's number. I think it's kind of weird that I order Domino's now, but I remember Pizza Hut's number still. That's how it is. But back in the day, we had cell phones or pagers, to remember that. We also had planners that we'd write the phone numbers down, and you'd write weird names in there, like Jim. Or if it was Ashley, you write Jashley. So, people are like, who's this? I don't remember. And then you could get away with calling them or whatever. That was how we did it back in the day. Then cell phones came out. Then people had separate cell phones. They had prepaid cell phones. So the numbers always changed. But then, because that's what the drug dealers did. So that was kind of how we got around doing that back in the day. I mean, I'm not saying me personally, I'm saying just in general. I wasn't cool enough because I only had one number. Nobody used that as it is. Now with the invention of smartphones, with all the apps out there. You have Tinder, you have Plenty of Fish, you have OkCupid, you have Grindr if you're into that. You have all these apps at your disposal that you should be able to use. Now, why would you pay extra to do that? The anonymity of finding somebody, I don't get it. I don't get where to me, if you're going to pay for the anonymity of, having fun, just go to Vegas. Everybody knows in Vegas what you do. They expect you to do it. They don't ask questions unless you are requesting something really weird. In that case, I'm sorry. But just go to Vegas. Get it out here. There is I think it's a Hamilton Hotel in LA, which is, they charge by the hour. So that gives you there. In Seattle, there's a couple places like that. There's just, overall, there's a lot of less expensive, things. Now, if you honestly wanted a one-night thing, or a one-day thing, or whatever, get on a plane. Go look on wherever, look on, one of the travel sites. I don't get sponsored, so I'm not shouting out any of them. But there's always those deals. There's always the last-minute deal. If you live in a hub of, Salt Lake City, Seattle, LA, Denver, there's always those last-minute deals where it says, oh, travel here. And it's usually across state or into the next state. Really, I think I saw one in Denver that went to Phoenix. Why couldn't you drive? But hey, if you want to fly, that's your own business. But it was $45. Okay, $45. Now, I figure two people, if they both are consenting or whatever, you get on the plane. That's $90 for two people. Okay, that's $90. Then you get one room. Figure you're not getting the best room, so you figure even if you splurged and got $149 room because it's at the Travel Lodge with the hot tub in the middle of the room or whatever it is. I only know this because I read it online. I don't know from experience. Anyway, so you do that. So you're looking at, $230. So figure $300 all said and done for a day of fun, to have your anonymity. What stays in the other, no one knows because you're in another area. You can pass it off as a business trip. So that's going all the way through everything. I'm not going to condone it. I don't condone that behavior. I've only done that once on somebody, and that it's wrecked my life. That was when I was in college. Long story. Anyway, so these people that have paid to be on Ashley Madison or Ashley Matson or John Doe or whatever the website is, I don't get it. How are they paying for it? Because I'm pretty sure it comes across as a credit card or a debit card, and if you're like most families, you share finances and stuff like that. So how do you pass that through? I never signed up, so I'm curious on how you actually can keep that away from somebody, unless you're just one of those families where I do the money, no one else touches my money. Then okay, that's fine. Whatever. Get out your club and club them in the head and drag them by the hair back to your cave, because you got to share things. That's just how things go. With the whole Duggar 19 and counting or whatever, that whole thing, it amazes me. The words that what he's coming up with is saying that the devil built a fortress in his head, or something like that. I don't remember the exact words, but it comes back to, it's not the devil. We all have those feelings, those ideas, those feelings, those intuitions of, hey, that would be fun. These weird insights of delusional grandeur that you just have to do it. You have to do this. You have to do that. And it's, if you actually have morals or whatever, you actually can say, no, I can't do that. I'm happily married, or no, I need some excitement in my life. So then you buy, the Zorro mask and, do a little role playing, or if you are completely not that monogamous, you bring somebody else in. That gets confusing because it's just too many hands, and it's like it's like in the dark, Twister, right hand, left breast. It's just confusing. I did see somebody sent me a video of, hey, it's edible, glow in the dark hand paint, or body paint, but they mentioned the way they were pointing this out is you put it on your hands. So, say it was myself and two other people. I would have, say, green, neon green, glow-in-the-dark paint. Someone else would have blue. Someone else would have pink. Then you always know whose hand is where, right? It takes some of the, the secrecy out of it, but at the same time, it's, if blue hand does better than pink hand, and you kind of want to know who's doing what well. That's just, I saw that and I thought it was kind of a great idea, but it's not something that I participate in because I get confused easily and I have ADD. So I would be like, oh, pecan, oh, squirrel, and then I'd wonder why a squirrel was in the room. Back to the whole thing. I don't get it. I'm not a huge Jesus follower. I went through church. I didn't go through a church. I didn't drive my car through it or something like that. But I went. I attended and whatnot, and it's just kind of one of those things where, even at my church, if I showed up one day and said, "Hey, I'm going to," or showed up and said, "Hey, devil made me do this," I think most of the people would laugh at me, because, the devil is just a kind of a cop-out of blaming something that's not really there, and if it is, it has not jumped out at me yet. You could blame karma, you could just blame your own thoughts, you could blame whoever. You can blame, a hot dog. Hot dog made me do it. I think that's more impressive. If you ate a pack of, ballpark Franks, and then you go out and drink a bunch, and then you get sick and throw up everywhere, you get hot dogs made me do it. That makes sense. It's a stretch, but it makes more sense than saying, long-haired hippie ghost, evil brother or whatever, made him do it, or whoever the devil is. The snake that fed the apple. You can go and whatever, but that only goes so far. Personally, I just think you just get a beat down. Just move to Vegas, whatever. Buy a drive-through church and just do it that way. If you're gonna stay married, just do that. Start a new reality show. If they stay married, do a reality show with Dr. Drew. Dr. Drew. It would be interesting, but at the same time, kind of clashing on beliefs and how you go about and blaming and stuff like that. I'm not going to go on. I'm done with that. There's just a lot of just things that could be talked about and could not be talked about. And I don't necessarily get it, but that's just me. But there's so much more going on in the world right now. And if you haven't been paying attention, It's there's I mean, there's just so much. I mean, there's the biggest thing that that just happened, and it'll hit. I mean, there's so, like so many different things, but the biggest thing of that I haven't come to grips with is that there is a story out there right now of Jimmy Superfly Snuka. I don't know if you remember from WWF. He's a former professional wrestling star. He was one of those one of the first high flyers. But I mean, this is like from 1983. I mean, how old is he now? I forget how old he is, but he was just charged. I think it was this past Tuesday, but he was, just a while back, with third-degree murder and involuntary manslaughter of the death of, I guess it was his mistress, 3 decades ago. I don't remember. There was a lot of, things going on, and I mean, after all this time, I mean, 3 decades. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if, how to really say that, but I mean, there's, but at the same time, there's a thing that it was, according to a grand jury's report, Jimmy the Superfly, or I don't know, let's call him Superfly, provided a half dozen shifting accounts of the lady's injuries. First telling paramedics she hit her head on the during an argument outside their hotel room, and that she struck her head on concrete. Then claiming to police she slipped and fell during a bathroom break on their way to the hotel. So I don't know really. I mean, those are. Well, did you push her? Did you not push her? That's kind of, I don't know. I mean, it's a lot. I mean, he's 72. I just found that out. But I mean, there's. I mean, at that point, I mean, he's already dying. He already has stomach cancer, I believe. I mean, what I don't know. It seems like a lot to, grab a hold of. I mean, just let him just kind of fade away. It's kind of one of those things where, like, is he going to beat somebody with a walker? I mean, I don't know if he's still wrestling. I don't think he is, at least. I mean, he shouldn't be at 73. I mean, if he is, that'd be kind of awesome. I mean, that's just me. But, I mean, I think that, that's the problem. We're just reaching for things that, that are, out there. I mean, it's, now, I'm going to reach kind of far here, and this is in bad taste. But, Pope Francis, stated that all priests can forgive abortions temporarily. Now, with that in mind, I wonder if that ties over to. I mean, it's kind of cool. They've seen it as a moral evil and stuff like that, but I see it as they're finally giving way and kind of temporarily forgiving the whole idea of Donald Trump being president. But that's just me, because I think him running for president is a complete abortion. But yeah, there's so much more news out there, and I don't even know where to begin anymore. I don't know where to end. There's just so much to be talking about. Now, I will bring this up because there's so many people out there, both people that are good and, bad and whatever. Besides, Trump's shaky grasp on immigration with him marrying his wife and him talking about his daughter and him actually being only second generation. I don't know. There's a couple of things that I would like to talk about, and one of them is McDonald's has voted to be offering breakfast all day. October 6th, they're going to start offering breakfast all day, including hotcakes, yogurt parfaits, oatmeal, hash browns, sausage burrito. I don't really like those, but could be. But the thing is, they haven't decided if it's going to be the McMuffin or the biscuit sandwiches. Because I guess it's not going to be the whole menu, it sounds like, but it will be. It'll probably end up being both. Both of them, just because, you can't just have one. What about those people that go in and have a McMuffin and a biscuit both? I'm one of those people. I will stop and get breakfast in the morning, and I will get like a sausage or an egg bacon biscuit with a sausage McMuffin, because I want my heart to stop. That's kind of how I want. I want it. I do. But there's I don't know if you guys are following the whole Kentucky clerk thing, where it went to the same Supreme Court because they didn't want gay couples to marry. Now, I'm not gay myself, nor I don't plan on being gay. I like boobs too much. I have nothing wrong with him. I'll make out with a guy. It's just I don't want to spend my life with a guy. Yeah, actually, there's a few guys that I wouldn't mind, holding hands and skipping or even playing baseball. I don't care. Anyway, I'm just digging myself in the hole. I have just nothing against it. But there was, they were trying to, I'm trying to remember now who the people were, but basically it was trying to, the Supreme Court on Monday refused to allow a county clerk in Kentucky, to deny marriage license on all couples, gay or straight. Which I think is kind of messed up. Who is this one person to deny whether you get to be happy or not? Just because they're not happy, they live at home, they, have no cats or whatever. But this is one person. I believe it's Kim Davis, I think Rowan County. I don't remember. But anyway, they have the ability to issue marriage licenses to eligible couples and everything like that. But it doesn't, because it goes into the difference of church and state. I believe it was always separated, But by her doing that, she wants to be one. I mean, who said, like, my church, which if I went to church, I would, wouldn't care. My parents' church, there's 3 or 4 lesbian couples, I think 2, one drag king, one drag queen that go to church in their respective outfits, and probably the best dressed people there. I mean, it doesn't. I mean, that's a Christian organization. They respect it. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, it's not like this is the elementary school and there's cooties. Well, I take that back. They could have cooties. It's just not an issue where I'm worried about getting the cooties because, I was in the parking lot and got this circle, dot, because I got my cootie shot. But it's not. There is. It's one of those things where, it just doesn't make sense why you would go ahead and go against. I mean, the court said no. You are part of the court system, therefore, but you still said no. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get where people have the gall to really, step up and say no, or yes, or whatever. Because it's not really, their say. I would personally, I don't get it. I'm at a loss. But I don't know. I mean, there's just so much out there. I'm going to cut it kind of short today just because I was kind of just reaching out there trying to get you guys to kind of think about things, pay attention to the news, but don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to really stand up for what you believe in, but at the same time, I mean, I've been to use a Marine, Jared, I think his name is Jared Hashard. He asked Ronda Rousey to the Marine Corps ball. Now, most of us thought, oh, it'd be great to ask this person, but I think a Marine would be the only one that could really handle her, and it's she actually said yes, but I mean, you never know unless you ask. But at the same time, it's I think it just shows everybody that you can be from the middle of nowhere or right smack in everything, and you just have to try. That's all my words of wisdom, because this is crunchy and wet, and I'm not really trying to do much other than make your mind twist and think and wonder about miscellaneous crap. Until next time, I bid you adieu to you and you and you.